Hello and welcome to a new Java program where I will talk about a Java application for creating files, writing strings, and setting characters with JOption pane. After you use JOption pane, you will carry out a simple operation for the users, and then you'll create text in a directory. You'll enter text, you'll write the text again, you'll look for character frequency across line and repetitions. So Java is a widely used programming language. It is used in application development. It handles file operation with input and output libraries. JOption pane has enabled developers to build interfaces, GUIs, and this project across file creation and verification using classes, writing data using file writer and buffer writer, reading and analyzing text lines, writing the code to get the end user response, and then lastly it is an object-oriented programming. So what we are trying to accomplish is we'll use a Java application to create user interactive using JOption pane, and then we'll write file that has repeated strings, and then we'll determine frequency of character per line, and then Java GUI and file input and output libraries will experience it. So the concept map or the mind map is simple. We'll deal with file handling, file creation, writing, reading, character counting, Java, and we'll do work with JOption pane. So here I'll talk about the screenshots and comments and explain a little bit further. So in step 1, ask for the file name. So we can create a file, so we'll create a file. So in my case I wrote Rodney, and then I'll save it as a file. So using those those codes, so it will say enter name, so I'll enter name of the text file, I'll enter Rodney, and then it will if I didn't enter anything, it will say file cannot be empty, so I'll have to enter a name in order to press OK, and then we'll move on to the next. So in step 2, it's going to ask for folder selection. So you'll choose the folder that you're going to save the file. So in this case, I wrote folder name as file name is Rodney, so I'll save it on desktop or my documents or downloads, anyway inside your PC or computer. So for my case, I'll save it on desktop, which is where this is the option, so desktop, and then it will direct it to desktop, so the file will be saved to the desktop where I choose. So this is where my file will be saved. So in step 3, create file if it doesn't exist. So like the below message dialog, it will show that if the file already exists, it will show file already exists. If you create a file and the file is already there, it will say file already exists. And if you create a file and there's no other files inside, but it's the first file, and the file will say file successfully created, this is what happened. And then if you create a file and the file is not created, it will say fail to create a file. So these are the options, 3 options you will see in creating file in step 3. So in step 4, get string and repetition count. So we'll get string, we'll write how many times would it be written, and then we'll write how many times the string will be written. So for my case, like how many write a string, I wrote professional programming, so how many times it should be written, I wrote 5 times. So when the program is executed, it will show professional programming 5 times. So that's step number 4. And then on step 6, ask for character to set. So here we'll enter a character to search for in the file. The file that I created, the file I created is professional programming. So the, the so message dialog will ask enter exactly one character. So this is exactly one. Enter a character to search for in the file. So I'll enter E, but you can write according to the string that you have entered. So inside the string you have special characters that are inside, specific characters that are inside each string. So mine is professional programming, so I used E. So this enters, I enter E to search for in the file. So in step number 7, which is the last step, it says read file and count characters in each line. So it will read file and count characters in each line. So the character count per line it will read. So the character that I have entered is E, which E I entered in the string that I wrote is professional programming, and the character is E. So when the read process takes place, it will count per line, which is over here. You can see from. So in line 1, I have one occurrence. This one occurrence refers to E. In line 1, there is E. E occurs only once. So in 1, 2, you can see professional programming 5 times in a repetition. So I have one E in professional. So in each line, there is only one E in professional programming character string. So I have one E, which is a character in a professional programming string. So in conclusion, we have seen that Java application is a application that effectively illustrates file management and graphical user interface and how they react with each other. So you can see file management and graphical user interface interacts mostly in Java application. So, and the importance of user-driven file manipulation in contemporary software development. So we say in software development, we say temporarily we used file manipulation to interact with users and get users feedbacks in software development, in simple software developments. And you know that Java is an object-oriented programming that goes with what we've learned in our programming. We must know how to fix code issues and run them to get solutions. So when there is an error, we have to fix it and then get the right code and then execute it again to get the final solution. Flexibility in file browsing with JFile Chooser is another important thing for Java, as you use JFile Chooser in Java to choose Java files, and then add validation for character input. So any character that is input must be valid by the user, so that the program can execute it properly and give the result as wanted. So if there is any failures or input errors, include error logs. So as programmers, they have developed special codes and that will give failures or errors, which are error logs if a input is not going well with the code or is against the rules of the codes or the Java, and then it will declare error. And then if there is an error and then there is need to the user needs to input a new valid input, which whether with it be a string or a number, so that it goes well with the code, so it will execute smoothly at the end. And then Java is a widely used language. It's usually called object-oriented language, which is flexible to use and can be used by many programmers around the world. And Java can be used in Windows, Linux, and Mac. So you can use it anywhere and everywhere. You can use Java. Thanks for watching, and that's all for my PowerPoint presentation. I hope you enjoy.